Today I'm going to show you how to use the multicam editing tool in Premiere Pro. Now I'm not going to waste any of your time, so let's get into it as a whole. As you can see here, I have Premiere Pro already on my screen. In my project folder, I have multiple shots ready to go along with audio. Now, you would use multicam editing when you have shot the same footage if you're shooting a wedding, if you're shooting a podcast, if you're shooting any sort of thing with multiple cameras. The entire idea here is how can we make your editing as quick as possible? Multicam does that for us rather than having 100,000 cuts. It's super simple. I'm going to walk you through it. So let's grab our footage up here. You can see I have all this different footage. Camera number 1, I'm going to drag and drop onto my timeline. Camera number 2, I'm going to drag and drop onto my timeline, so on and so forth. And the objective here is throw all your footage here. And now what you have to do is you have to line it up. And so what I end up doing anytime I shoot is I have all of the cast, all of the different cameras, they do a quick clap, a little 1, 2, 3, so that later we can just line it up super simply. So we take all this footage that I've dropped in here. I've already lined it up over here. So do yourself a favor, line it up. When looking, again, I have them all. You're going to see them clap 3 times. So they clap in unison. That gives me a timestamp. You can see it here. All good to go. I'm also recording audio externally. So that audio I end up putting on. This is through their Shure microphones. Makes it super easy. So first thing you have to do is line up your footage to all be equal. Line it all up. Then at that rate, I get rid of all their crappy in-camera audio. Just grab all their in-camera audio that we don't need anymore. I grab the good audio through the Shure microphones. So now we only have excellent audio quality coming through. So everything's looking good to go. We have the audio lined up with the visual. Looks good, feels good. All you have to do here, we have 5 cameras that are operating. This is the easiest thing. You select them all. You right click and you're going to nest the video footage. I just name it 4K multicam nest. So all of that footage is now crushed into one singular timeline. But wait, it gets easier. You simply right click this. You come up to MultiCam ENABLE. What that does is it takes that footage that you have nested and it basically says, hey, all of this is lined up and we're going to turn it into a switcher like at a TV broadcasting station like NBC, MSNBC, Fox News, CNN, whatever. None of those are sponsoring today's episode, though I wish they were. Honestly, no, I don't. No, I don't. Now that we have our multicam nested, we have it enabled. What you're going to do is over here on this bar, we have to add the multicam function. So you're going to come up, click the plus, and it's going to be this guy right here. What we're going to do is we are going to click and drag the toggle multicam view, and we're going to put it into our bar. We're going to hit OK. So now when you click this, it's going to show you the multicam function. This is actually what your footage is, what's going to be output. This is, hey, these are all the cameras that you're operating with at the same time. Now, Premiere Pro makes it super simple. All you have to do is from the beginning, when you hit the spacebar to play through, to render your footage out, to really just scrub through, as it is going, as the video footage is playing, you are a live camera operator where you're just going to toggle between camera 1, 2, 3, and 4, and all of that is done on your keyboard. So if I hit play and it begins to show my footage, if I want to switch to camera 2, which is this guy right here, all I got to do is hit number 2. And then if I want to switch to camera number 5, all I got to do is hit number 5 on my keyboard. And now if I want to switch back to camera number 3, all I got to do is click it, click the keyboard number. That will go through all of the cameras. So camera 1, camera 2, camera 3, camera 4, camera 5. And now what you're going to notice is on my timeline, it has made all of the cuts. You can see camera 3, camera 1, camera 2, camera 3 to 4 to 5. It is so easy and it is so magnificent. I cannot thank Premiere Pro enough for doing this, because now if I play it back and simply watch, it's going to pop from camera to camera. Here's camera 3. It's going to switch to camera 1 to camera 2, 3, 4, 5. Simple. Absolutely simple. So basically you run through your footage. Let's say we want to start at the beginning. I'm like, get rid of all this crap because all of this is pre-roll. Delete it. We take it from the top, and I want to start at camera 1. She does her intro. She mentions the two other guys. I pop over to them. She's still talking. I go back to her. Go back to them. It's simple. The functionality of it is incredibly simple. Whatever camera you want to be going, you just click that number corresponding on the keyboard. Whatever camera you want to be showing, like a live camera operator, it will cut to it based on what you're touching on the keyboard. So again, this is your camera 1, this is your camera 2, this is your camera 3, camera 4, camera 5. You click the keyboard number while it's scrubbing through, and it'll switch to it. And then once you hit spacebar after a little bit, it will actually show you the cuts made. It's incredibly simple. It's incredibly effective. It's super helpful. And let's say you make a cut that you don't like. Maybe you're looking at this little portion and you didn't want her talking. You can actually just click on it and say, you know what, I actually wanted it to be camera number 4. It'll swap it. It all of a sudden becomes camera number 4. Doesn't affect any of the past footage, doesn't affect any of the future footage. It just becomes that. Again, you're going to hit spacebar and then you're going to cut. You say camera 2. You're like, hey, I want camera number 5. It's super simple. It allows you to edit at a rate of speed that is so much faster than sitting there and trying to cut up all the multiple cameras at once. It just nests them and then allows you to function like you're a live camera operator. It's super simple. I hope that this has been super helpful for you, because in my life as a video producer, it has been incredibly helpful. MultiCam editing is awesome. You just have to make sure that you sync everything up at the beginning, then you nest it, you enable it, and you go to town. If you have any questions, please drop it in the comments section. I'd love to help you out. I hope that this is super helpful for you. If there's anything else that you're like, you know what would be helpful? Teach me how to color edit. Teach me how to whatever. Not Dougie, but for the most part, ask away. I would love to help you. Hopefully, this has been awesome for you, as it has been awesome for me.